Resuming debate, the honourable member for Avalon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It gives me great pleasure to stand and speak on Bill C-29, a second act to implement certain provisions of the budget tabled in Parliament on March 22, 2016, and other measures. I'm delighted to stand in this House and discuss a budget that provides much-needed help for the middle class and builds upon a strong economy. As we all know, when the middle-class Canadians have more money to save, invest and grow the economy, everyone in this country will benefit. A strengthened middle class means that hard-working Canadians can look forward to a good standard of living and better prospects for their kids. When you have an economy that works for the middle class, you have a country that works for everyone. We must do for our kids and grandkids what our parents and grandparents did for us. For example, we are giving Canadian families more help with the high cost of raising children. Our government has introduced a new Canada Child Benefit, simpler, tax-free and more generous. The Canada Child Benefit will replace existing federal child benefits. With the CCB, 9 out of 10 Canadian families will receive higher monthly benefits and hundreds of thousands of children will be lifted out of poverty. In my home province of Newfoundland and Labrador, families will receive over a 2-year investment, some $112 million under the new CCB. This new investment will enable families and single parents to better provide for the day-to-day needs of their children. After a decade of being abandoned by the former federal government and the administrative neglect of a provincial Conservative government, I'm pleased to now work on behalf of all Newfoundlanders and Labradorians and deliver huge benefits for our province. For example, we were able to assist Newfoundland and Labrador with a $31 million stabilisation fund, $68.2 million for small craft harbours, almost $110 million to Memorial University, and just to mention one more, an additional $2.9 billion loan guarantee for Muskrat Falls. Mr. Speaker, this doesn't include over $235 million for municipal infrastructure projects and a further $78 million of Parks Canada investment in Newfoundland and Labrador. With a new cooperative approach between the federal and provincial government, we're delivering more and more solid investments to our province. In addition, we are also looking after those working Newfoundlanders and Labradorians and all working Canadians to better prepare them now for a much more secure retirement in the future. As such, I'm delighted that as a government, we are proposing strategic and innovative changes to the Canada Pension Plan. Some of the things we're doing that will provide a more secure and stable retirement for hard-working Canadians include increase the amount of retirement pension, and also very important to me is to increase survivors and disability pensions and the post-retirement benefit, subject to the amount of additional contributions made and the number of years over which those contributions are made. Increase the maximum level of pensionable earnings by 14% as of 2025. Provide for the making of additional contributions beginning in 2019. Provide for the creation of the additional Canada Pension Plan account and the accounting of funds in relation to it. Include the additional contributions and increased benefits in the financial review provisions of the Act and authorise the Governor and Council to make regulations in relation to those provisions. Mr. Speaker, I'm very proud to be working on behalf of my constituents in the great riding of Avalon and be a part of a government that believes every Canadian deserves a secure and dignified retirement after a lifetime of hard work. In addition, I'm pleased to speak from a very personal perspective regarding the current benefits of the Canada Pension Plan. Mr. Speaker, in early 2000, I lost my wife after a lengthy and courageous battle with cancer. At the age of 40 years, I accepted the responsibility of raising my young son to ensure his well-being and provide for an education that would help secure his future. After sitting here and listening to some of the honourable members opposite, it perturbs me as they use information that distorts the unfounded negativities of the real and true benefits of the Canada Pension Plan. Mr. Speaker, we've heard members opposite negligently throw out numbers and facts and to state that 20% of Canadians do not benefit from their investments in the Canada Pension Plan because there is no one left to receive the survivor benefit. I don't believe this represents the true facts, and I don't think it is useful to this debate. Furthermore, members opposite have stated that individuals are investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in the Canada Pension Plan and receiving a mere $2,500 payout. Once again, Mr. Speaker, these statements by members is unfortunate and does nothing to provide an informative and factual debate in this House. The Canada Pension Plan and retirement is important to so many Canadians, and we need to make strategic decisions that will provide enhanced future benefits. From my own personal experience, and while the benefit is not large, as my wife died at the young age of 37, I've been receiving survivor benefits since my wife's passing in 2000. And in addition, my son was receiving a monthly contribution from Canada Pension during his high school and post-secondary education. Unlike what members opposite would want you to believe, the benefit was certainly a financial help to my son and I. We all know that today, middle-class Canadians are working harder than ever, but many are worried that they won't have put enough money away for their retirement. Each year, fewer and fewer Canadians have workplace pensions to fall back on. As a responsible government with a commitment to strengthen and grow the middle class, we made a commitment to Canadians to strengthen the CPP in order to help them achieve their goal for a strong, secure and stable retirement. Now we are making meaningful changes to the CPP that will allow Canadians to retire with more money in their pockets. Every Canadian deserves a secure and dignified retirement after a lifetime of hard work, and we have taken a powerful step to make that happen. When our Finance Minister and his provincial counterparts first started to discuss the future of pensions, it was a real opportunity for them to seize on a renewed spirit of collaboration and to get things done. The deal will boost how much each Canadian will get from their pension from 1/4 of their earnings now to fully 1/3. Simply put, there will be more money waiting for Canadians when they retire. To make sure these changes are affordable, we will phase them in slowly over 7 years, from 2019 to 2025, so that the impact is small and gradual. The revisions are designed to help Canadians in every step of their lives, our grandparents, parents and children. Retired Canadians deserve to enjoy their freedom. No retired Canadian should have to worry about selling their home or getting a part-time job. The increases to CPP contribution rates are being gradually phased in starting in 2019. This is the responsible thing to do to make sure business and workers have time to adjust to the additional contributions associated with the enhanced program. The Government of Canada will enhance the working income tax benefit to offset the incremental CPP contributions of eligible low-income workers and provide tax deductibility for the enhanced portion of employee CPP contributions. As stated earlier, the Government has already taken action to support families by introducing the Canada Child Benefit to help families with high cost of raising their kids. We cut taxes for the middle class, and now we have expanded the retirement benefits to a strengthened CPP. We have also helped our seniors by increasing the guaranteed income supplement top-up benefit by up to $947 annually for the most vulnerable single seniors. We know this will improve the financial security of about 900,000 single seniors across Canada. We also restored the eligibility age for old age security and guaranteed income supplement benefits to age 65. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude my remarks on Bill C-29, I believe it is more important than ever that we be responsible to the needs of our constituents, that we do what we can to continue growing the middle class, enhance family benefits, and secure an enhanced retirement program for working Canadians. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Questions and comments. The honourable member for Timmins James Bay.
Speaker, I listened with great interest to my honourable colleague. Now, he's from Newfoundland. Now, I don't think that's anywhere close to Mississauga the last time I checked on a map. And Newfoundland, like Northern Ontario, we rely on regional economic development. But the Liberals are telling us, you know, you don't need your own voice in Northern Ontario. We'll just get rid of that. We'll replace your Northern Ontario voice with a guy from Mississauga. And then we'll take the funds that are supposed to be for Northern economic development and we'll put them into a business in, guess where? Mississauga. Now, I don't know if my honourable colleague's spoken up in defence of ACOA for his region, but I haven't heard any of my Liberal colleagues from Northern Ontario talk about the cuts to broadband. They've said nothing about economic development, and they seem to think it's perfectly fine that money from our region is going to Mississauga to help something that's right there in the minister's backyard. So I'd like to ask my honourable colleague if he's going to stand up with us and fight for regional economic development and have our standalone agencies with our ministers from our own region and not some fiefdom in Mississauga.
The honourable member for Avalon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the honourable member for his question. I'll stand proudly with the minister responsible for COA from Mississauga, because under his rule as minister, Newfoundland has benefited more than they have in the past 10 or 12 years, probably in total in just 1 year. My riding alone has received millions of dollars from COA through the help of this minister, and I certainly don't ask for any apologies from him in that regard from being from Mississauga. Thank you.
Questions and comments? The honourable member for, the Richmond Centre.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We all understand that small businesses are job creators, and the Liberals broke their promise and increased the small business taxes. That is number one question I asked, why they broke their promise. The second question I'd like to ask is that they did not help and will not help the seniors at all by having the carbon tax on everything, because seniors have to pay for their heating, they have to pay for grocery, and that is the most important thing. The savings they've had, they have already, the Liberal government also has cut the TFSA. Statistics have shown that seniors are those who really put in money saving for their retirement days, and yet this Liberal government has taken that away. So I would like to ask, through you, Mr. Speaker, why the government has broken all their promises.
The honourable member for Avalon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll certainly address the first part of our question in that as a former business owner, small business owner, the most important thing I ever found that was important is that your customers had money so they could avail of your services. And we did that through our tax cuts to the middle class, to our new childcare benefit plan, put more money in the pockets of people that use small businesses each and every day. And so that makes a small business better off a lot longer than a 1% or a 0.5% cut in the income tax rate to them. And on the issue of seniors, we are working to make the lives of seniors better. We, as I mentioned in my speech, over $900 to single seniors and most vulnerable low income, as well as our affordable housing program for seniors. In Newfoundland alone, I believe the amount was $200 million is allocated for that. So we do care about seniors, we care about the middle class, and we care about small business. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Questions and comments? The honourable member for Winnipeg North in 35 seconds or less. So in a very short time.
Speaker, really quick. I'm wondering if my colleague could just pick up on the seniors' point, reduction from 67 to 65 in terms of the age of retirement, and if he can provide his thoughts on that.
The honourable member for Avalon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank my honourable colleague for the question. My thoughts on it were that as a resident when that brought in by the former government, I wasn't in favour of it then, and certainly when I became a part of the Liberal government that we see here today, I certainly was glad to see it reduced back to 65. A lot of people planned for retirement, and to just eliminate it from 65 to 67 with no consultation, no consideration for people not being prepared for that in time was totally irresponsible of the former government. Thank you.
Resuming debate.